Well, to Ripcaster, my name's John Nelson. We're a hi-fi dealer based in the UK between Reading and Oxford. And today we're going to take a quick look at the latest streamer from HiFi Rose. This is the RS130. This is a streaming transport only, so you'll need to connect it to an external DAC of some description. And it complements the existing range of the RS150B and the RS520. We have all of the Rose products on demonstration at our showroom. So please get in touch if you'd like to see and hear these products for yourself. Let's have a quick look what is in the box. So inside the box we have a welcome pack and the actual product itself. So let's have a quick look what's in the welcome pack. You have a Bluetooth remote control, various power cables, UK, etc. Some screws, which I believe are for holding an internal hard drive. Like all the Rose products, they can take an internal, typically solid state drive, so you can use them to load your music and play directly from them, as well as some streaming services. If you want to use Wi-Fi, then they provide a USB external antenna. That's partially because the case is made out of aluminium construction, so it's pretty much a Gaussian cage. It will work wired or wireless, and we also get a actual fairly comprehensive instruction manual, which is always nice. Okay, so that's what comes in the accessories. Let's have a look at what the actual product is like. Okay, so there is the actual front of the product. It features a large touchscreen display like all the other models. It's very well made in a nice aluminium, tightly machined product. We've got various buttons on the top, power, shuttle controls, mute, and a kind of a home button as well. And we'll demonstrate that when we switch it on. Turn it round. So if we can go through what's on the back panel here. So we've got mains power. We've got a reset button here for a breaker if there's any problems. We've got a grounding strap. We've got a coax digital output here. We've got an HDMI output here. One of the features of the Rose is that you can connect an external monitor to the display and it will show you what it's playing. So you can look at the metadata, the album art, etc., track and title information on a large external display if you're playing music, and if you're playing things like from YouTube, you will also get the content displayed on the external monitor. We have then got an ASEBU output here, another digital output for optical here. So covers all bases in terms of your digital audio outputs: coax, ASEBU, and optical. And then we've also got an external clock input, two choices, either 75 or 50 ohms. And the previous reviewer has been very kind and left a USB stick in here, so you can connect content directly onto a little USB stick and play directly on there. Although typically you would play from the likes of Spotify or Tidal or Qobuz or Apple Music or any of the streaming services that it's got. It also supports UPnP, so you can play it from a local network hard drive. It's also on the base. If I turn this round like so here, there's a little panel that you can take off and you can fit a 2.5-inch drive, typically a solid state drive in there, where you can load all your content onto it. It acts as a network hard drive in that instance. We've then got various other USB inputs over here. We've got USB fiber over here, which is interesting, not a very common connection currently, but no doubt growing. So the other interesting feature is the Ethernet connection options. So here, this has got an SFP adapter, and this is designed for a conventional Ethernet port. So I can plug my Ethernet in there, and the unit is connected in a wired sense to our network. we saw in the accessory pack the USB dongle to allow us to use wireless access if we aren't physically connected. The other option it allows is for this SFP module to be replaced instead of using copper. Okay, so we've got, this is the copper SFP we've just shown, and then this is an optical one. Has a different transceiver in it, so we take the out, and here we have an optical cable. Take those off, plug those in there like that, that into there like so, and we can then get data to this unit over a fiber optic link. Obviously that provides better signal immunity, less electrical noise, for example, because it's isolated over the fiber optic. And a very smart way to do it. Some products have both a physical Ethernet port and a SFP port, but just putting a single one and providing the copper adapter is a very neat way of doing it. Okay, so we'll take out the fiber one and we'll revert to copper. Gigabit, in fact. Okay, so that's the rear panel connections. Everything that you could need. Yeah, you've also got an I2S output here over an HDMI style cable here. Okay, I think what we'll do now is power it on and just go through the normal front screen. Okay, so we've flipped the unit around, put some power, we've got our Ethernet connected, and I'm just going to turn the unit on now, and it boots up, and as you can see, it's got the large touch screen. Takes a few seconds for it to boot. It's running Rose OS, which is a custom Android platform. The advantage of using the Android platform is that they can benefit from an ecosystem of apps that are already developed. Okay, so it comes up with standard interface. Okay, so you've got this very nice touchscreen interface, as is common across all the HiFi Rose products. And it's very intuitive. So you've got separate apps for Apple Music, for Qobuz, for Tidal, for RoseTube, which is their version of YouTube, and your own music. And you can control everything from this front panel. You can also control it using the Rose app. It's also Tidal Connect, so works with Rune, etc. So you've got full flexibility of how you may want to connect to this. And we can go into our in-out settings here, and we can configure how things are actually configured, what inputs and outputs, etc., that we are using. So we can say which digital ports we're using, and we can configure those and various other sampling, things like MQA type, DSD mode, etc., all those kind of things. So it's very, very easy to configure the product with your particular DAC. You can also configure on the external USB ports. You can plug in a USB CD-ROM drive, and you can use that for either direct CD playback or indeed for CD ripping to the internal hard drive if you pick one. And you've got all the kind of system settings in terms of things like you can change the look and feel of the interface, what you see on the display, and you can hide and show various icons. So if you don't have Apple Music, for example, you can hide that icon. If you don't want to listen to podcasts, you can hide that icon. So again, very flexible, very intuitive to use. It also features radio, so you can access internet radio streams which are customized for your location. So if I go into Qobuz, wants me to log in. All right, so I've put my Qobuz credentials in, and now you can see I can play whatever I fancy. I can search for what the album I want to play, and I can play that. And if we had this connected to a DAC right now, it would be playing. And one of the cool things about the Rose is it's got these nice analog VU meter skins, etc., that you can have on or off. Again, if you got various different themes on these VU meters, which is always a nice touch. And if we had an external monitor attached to the unit, this metadata that we're seeing here would be displayed on that monitor, which is, again, a nice touch to be able to see what music you're playing when you're listening. Okay, I hope you found that useful. A very quick view of the new Rose RS130 streamer transport. Lots of nice features, beautiful product, very nicely put together, complements the rest of the HiFi Rose range. If you'd like to come and see and hear any of these products, I encourage you to come and visit us at our showroom between Reading and Oxford. Thanks for watching.